everyone, welcome back to my channel, Elemental Origins. My name is Starr, and today I'm going to enter into the space with a California white sage. I do have some frankincense burning by the side of me as well, and that's going to be significant for some of you, but yeah, I'll leave you to delve into the meaning of frankincense and see how that might relate to you in your journey at this time. I was feeling a lot of energy before sitting down today, everyone, and it just feels like there is such weight in the air. I feel completely smoked out by all the incense that I've got burning. And yeah, there was just a feeling of overwhelm, but kind of inward overwhelm. And the reading for today is for the Virgo new moon. And Virgo is very much connected to the Vishuddha chakra, which is the throat chakra. And I feel like there is something that is getting stuck right now, energetically wise, in all of you, and this is going to be in very different spaces in the body, but I feel like you can feel perhaps where all of your energy is being stored, where it's being centered, where it's being sent to. So just take a minute to tune into where you might be feeling trapped or stuck in terms of energy in your system. I didn't know I was going to do this before sitting down, but just place your hands in that space, and I'm going to speak some light language to you to help you maneuver that energy. So you might start to feel it dissipate, you might start to feel it be a little bit more intense, you might start to feel like there is more heat in the area, or like there is a tingling sensation. But I'm going to try and shift some of that energy for you so that we can go into this reading a little bit lighter, because I feel like it is just so dense. I'm finding it hard to even speak, setting the collective energy. So just take a minute to tune into that space, and I will help dislodge a little bit of that energy for you. Drasha kolo kotorene ekiala kotorono oshike ina oro tiete. Torono wia kototo shia to omu kule ke tarana aka ikile te oro to shia. Torono uye kokono turata kalake ekire shiketo uturumu ike shakata. No wia na okole oro shutu te nara katiete otuno shutu te kina. Nana ye kokolo no rutetiata oku shikiete utuno muye shaka. Ni ana olo tiane tresheku le kuturuno ukiata. I feel like the silence is heavy for everyone at this moment, and I was very much feeling like a massive hug coming in from everyone's guides, everyone's teams, and almost like a pep talk is needing to happen. So I hope that this reading today gives you a little bit of an energetic hug, I think I want to say, for some of you. But Virgo is very much connected to the colour brown, blues, dark blues, and also the crystals emerald, mookaite, and jade. And emerald is very great, emerald is great at warding off evil, warding off demons, and particularly used in some circles with regards to poisoning and reducing the effects of poisoning. And that felt very, very, very important for someone. I feel like this might be a past life connection that's going to help you with. And mookaite is connected to releasing anxiety, stress, and being of a level of support. And jade is very much connecting to the healing of the body and opening up the heart chakra. And I found it really interesting that I was just getting this feeling that it feels like we're kind of at base level right now, everyone. And I don't know about everyone else, but I've been very much catapulted into a state of doing a lot of deep shadow work just straight off the back of summer. And I was like, whoa, where is this coming from? It feels really early. I feel like I'm deep in, the autumnal seasons going into winter with the amount of shadow work that I've been having to do of late. And it really took me off balance. It really took me off kilter. And I think that some of you might be completely on your back right now. We're seeing people lay down in coffins in my mind's eye, or laying down on the ground, like lots of people all together, and it's almost like you're being sent back to base point. Some of you might be really making some really important decisions about your future and where you want to be heading at this time. And Virgo is all about laying those foundations, but most importantly, it's about you and your future. And something that I like to always remind myself if I'm struggling with, you know, perhaps where I want to go or what I want to be doing, is that the future is now. I believe in different timelines, and that you literally just step into a different timeline when you decide to make a switch and make a change. So it's like it's already happening for you. So don't forget that you can swap and change at any point. I think we're very stuck and very rigid in the way that we think our life should be, and you know, the systems that we've been taught, that you train, you do one job for the rest of your life, and then you die. Like, that's just not how life needs to be. So remind yourself of that, everyone. But we've got 3 piles today. I've pulled some oracles already, and I was going to pull some tarot, but I'm not sure if I will, so we will get into it. But for the first time in a really long time, I've turned over the first 3 cards, which are crystal cards. So you get to pick with your crystals, and it was really astounding to me that we have 50, 51 and 49, but not in the right order. But I shuffled this deck completely wholeheartedly, you know, to the brim, and we got consecutive numbers, which absolutely blew my mind. So take a minute to pick your pile, everyone, and I'm going to go ahead with pile number 1. Hello Pile 1, this is your reading. Let's see what Spirit wants to say to you. And your first card that you've got is Sirius Green Quartz, which isn't a crystal that I have ever come into contact with before. So I think I might read from the guidebook from that, but I'm going to pull your oracle and see. We've got the Shaman. We've got the Blade. We've got number 4 and Beauty Way, and I knew that a lotus was going to come out. I was drawn to the lotus in my mind's eye. We've got Volcano in Release, which is 40. We've got a crow. At the same time, I can just hear Sirius Star Blessings. Yes, proceed, be seen, push through. Quantum Jump and 36. I feel like I might bring some tarot in. Sorry, everyone. I felt like I was underprepared for this reading. I felt like I wasn't in the right frame of energy. I felt like I wasn't in the right frame of mind. And perhaps this is how you feel, Pile 1. I felt like it was definitely going to be connected to a pile. So perhaps you just feel like you're just not ready for something yet. With the Shaman here, I wouldn't be surprised if you are knee deep in a lot of energy. Yeah, I feel like you're being guided to release a lot of energy right now, Pile 1. And this is so you can quantum leap into your new beautiful life that you are wanting to lead. And you've been on a path for a really long time, Pile 1, and your soul is very old. Your soul is ancient, incredibly ancient with the Shaman here. You've lived as a shaman many, many, many lifetimes, and this might surprise some of you. You might just be only just entering into these realms, these understandings and these layers. But your soul, one is eternal, but you're also, just incredibly ancient. That just keeps coming back to me, just that you're so ancient. I'm going to read from I wanted to say the Phosphorus Stone, which I find interesting. And that took me to the Philosopher's Stone. So Harry Potter might be important to some of you. So yeah, the Sirius Green Quartz, life on life's terms, Joy Dear Viria, the acceptance of our place in the world, heaven and earth, what it's meant to be. Life on life's terms. Interesting. Green quartz is a type of quartz only found on the island of Sirius in Greece. It grows in odd shapes, often reminiscent of plant life. This beautiful crystal can be used for healing the physical body, opening the heart and connecting to nature and all of life. As humans, we long to face times when the only choice is to accept life in its own terms. But in that acceptance lies the most precious treasure, the gift of now. Surrender to this moment exactly as it is, and your heart will open, releasing what needs to be left behind as you join with the conscious universe on a journey of your own healing. Yeah, I feel like there is resistance right now within you, Pile 1. And apologies if I've absolutely butchered how to say Sirius. I think that's right. But I think that you've been guided to real deep healing, and you weren't expecting it, and I can definitely resonate with this energy. And I think that you are at breaking point, if not beyond breaking point. I think that you came to today's reading probably really not wanting to hear a message, but knowing that you needed to receive some guidance, and the guidance from your teams of light and through the energies of this Virgo moon is to just slice through the pain, slice through everything that no longer serves you, and release everything that no longer serves you. I've said this time and time again, I write things out and I burn them, or I desecrate them in some way. Any feelings, emotions, things that no longer serve me, I will send that as an offering to the earth. I will send that as an offering to my guides and my teams and say, look, help me. Step in now and help me. And I think that's something that you've been missing, or something that you haven't been utilizing to its full capacity on this journey yet, Pleiadian. I don't think you've been using your spirit guides, your spirit teams, and they really want you to. And 2 cards fell off the pile as I was just speaking then, and the cards came out like this, and your guides are saying, let us in, because they want you to be living this life of adventure, and that's what you're after, Pleiadian. There is something within you, but you're feeling in this energy, the 4 of Cups, I think you might be in burnout mode, Pleiadian, and you're just not aware of it yet, because it's a very different burnout. I think you're in spiritual burnout, which was something that took me a little while to kind of understand. And you might not be doing what you used to be doing. You might not be working all the hours, or be on your feet all day, or be doing outwardly things that people consider to make us tired. But when we are energetically tired or spiritually tired, you have to rest. And I think that's the point you've got to. I think you're sat in a lot of apathy just because you are in emotional burnout, Pleiadian, and I don't think you're used to relaxing. I don't think you potentially know how to relax properly, and you've always just got in your mind that you have to be doing, you have to be experiencing, or you have to be searching. And I'm just noticing all the eyes here. You have an eye here, an eye here, what looks like an eye here, and I brought in the eye that was following me around for a few days over a weekend at one point, that I found this was actually an old ring that I used to have, and I've been drawn to Hocus Pocus. So some of you might love horror movies or that time of season, and that's just a confirmation for you. But call on the Sirius star system, call on the Sirius beings. I do have a channeling from the Sirius beings as well that I will link in the description, because you might find it helpful. But I think that you're having to understand your physical body is being different to your emotional and spiritual body, and that's what you are working through at this time. This is the new foundation that you are laying through this new moon in Virgo, and I think it's going to feel really uncomfortable for you, Pleiadian, because you're not used to moving in this way. It's a lot slower. I think it's a lot it feels heavier to you, and you're used to feeling strong but in like a fast pace. So I think you feel quite weak, and you might be feeling really dense, or you might be experiencing like bloating or something like that, something just feeling uncomfortable, like inflammation or swelling. So look into some things to help with your physical system. But you're going through the ascension process, which is very much a physical experience as well as an emotional experience, and I think that all cylinders are just firing off at you right now, Pleiadian, in ways that you just haven't experienced before. And that's completely okay. And if you do feel called to reach out to me to be working with me, then please don't hesitate. But I think that you are just understanding what you have to go through to be on a spiritual path. Knight of Swords, and I think this is perhaps left you feeling like you want to turn back, or you've done something wrong, but you know that if you carry on with this path, what you're doing. And I think some of you have been on this path for a really long time, but it's just in a different way that you're experiencing it now, and you're having to get used to the slower pace. But your guides are saying that they're helping you get used to it now, so that when the sweetness comes, you don't reject it, because you're moving into calmer waters. And the only way to do that is to keep releasing, Pleiadian. You have to release the words of the past from others, And this is like a practice that you have to do under the light of the moon. So within this new moon, so that by the next full moon you can be free. Because I think there is a lot of mental chatter happening right now in your mind, Pile 1. And I'm hearing that they've amped up kind of potentially your emotions and how you're experiencing things. It's kind of been turned up a notch. Well, turned up times 1,000, I'm hearing, so that you notice it, so that you can release it, so you can receive your justice. I think you are due a lot, Pile 1. I think you're due a lot. I think you've been through a lot. I think that you have had to release a lot of late, and I think you're just at your last ebb, is what I'm feeling. And your guides are wanting to assure you that, you know, the beautiful path is on its way to you. That you are ready to receive your abundance. There is just some clearing out that's needed to happen right now on your physical vessel, in your mental body, in your emotional body. And the number 4 is important. It's like, yeah, I'm hearing 2.4 children. So those that have been wanting a family or to move into that next stage, next phase of life that feels solid. It's like you want that solid foundation, and you're literally quantum jumping into that. But please connect to the Sirius star systems, or connect to any star beings. Some of you are starseeds and you keep rejecting this notion. Not everyone. But if you start to just accept that you are a spiritual being, you know, inside of this meat suit, then life is going to be a lot smoother for you. Some of you are really rejecting who you are. And, you know, this is who all of us are. Every single one of us has a soul, and you know this to be true in Pile 1. So there's 2 camps here, but potentially 3. Some of you are rejecting your spirituality, your spiritual essence, the spirit that lives inside of everything. You're just not wanting to believe it to be true. Some of you have been in this path for a really long time, and you're at your last ebb. And then some of you are just awakening to the fact that you are a starseed, and, you know, perhaps you're going through a lot, but there's so much love around the corner for you. And I think that's what all of you here have been wanting for a really long time. You've been wanting love, you've been wanting connection, you've been wanting to feel like you are in control. And I think you've been having to, surrender. And I've literally only just seen this little bit of what looks like blood down here. And that's the first time I've ever seen this on this card. And it feels like such a sacrifice you're going through right now, I think, to you, Pile 1. I think you feel like you've had to sacrifice a lot and you've just had enough. And your teams are here to say, look, take a minute, you know, do what you need to do to make you feel better right now. Do not worry about the future, because it's already set in stone. That's the Philosopher's Stone coming through. It's already set in stone for you to achieve all the things that you want to. So they're saying, please, 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 just trust. Trust that you're the shaman. Trust that you are a spiritual being. Trust that you've done enough to receive right now. Trust that you are a starseed. Trust that you know what is happening. And you see it, Pile 1. You see it. Some of you are going to experience your spiritual essence in a very different way, but you all have capabilities of seeing what is available to you, and tuning into what you feel is supposed to be yours. I think some of you might be in surroundings that completely contrast what you know is going to be your life, and it is going to be your life, Pile 1. There's no 2 ways about it. Your teams are saying, please, please, please trust us. Just release the pain, release the anger, release the past, and wait to receive all of this beauty. You might have been seeing a lot of what are they called, dragonflies, or you might have just started to want to look up into the stars a little bit more. But there's so much waiting for you, Pile 1, and you know it to be true. So this very much is just a little hug from your team to say they hear you, they see you, they've been listening to you, and trust that you are powerful. And I think you've had a lot of messages come from me telling you how powerful you are for some time, and I don't think you've been able to step into that because you've been having to wait to release at this point, at this exact point. And there is something going on energetically that is a massive overhaul, and something that I don't think has been experienced in these realms, in this world, in a really long time. And this has been happening in my personal space too. I entered a whole new kind of vortex of darkness, dark energy, and I was like, whoa, where has this come from? And I think that things are being summoned in other spaces that we're having to energetically ward off, and you're tapping into this pile one to some degree. So make sure that you are double, extra, quadruple cleansing, and keep tuning back into love. I think some of you have turned away from loving yourself, from believing that true love, true unity is possible. And yeah, with this 6 here, that 666 energy is really, really strong. And I was in the intro, I wanted to bring through a message that I'm good, like I'm doing good, I'm okay. And it's really interesting to me because I felt like that was for a camp of people that were worried about me. So thank you so much, that those that have been worried about me, and I really appreciate it. And you know, I'm completely okay. I am going through a lot, I'm working through a lot in my personal spaces, but I'm doing just fine. And then also this was a message for those out there that perhaps have heard about what I'm doing and, you know, don't appreciate the things that I'm putting out there because they consider themselves to be, you know, warriors of darkness. And yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm doing good, and nothing that you can ever try and throw at me will ever penetrate the light that I hold within. And I think the point that you're missing with regards to my journey is that I was forged by fire, so just as dark as you are, I am too. And you know, at this point, I like to think I have a seat at the table with those that are of power, and I know this to be true. So who your God is actually, you know, someone that works for me and with me. So you're kind of fighting against the same team is what I want to share, and that message is only going to resonate for some, but I felt called to say that. So there were some of you here that are here for ill intentions, and you know, it doesn't get unseen, but your God is my God, is everyone's God, light and dark. You know, we're all part of the same thing. So I think you need to take a little bit of a time out with that and look into what you're actually believing in, because I don't think you know enough to move forward, is what I want to say. But that's taken a different turn, and I think I'm going to leave it there, Pile 1, because I think you just need to be in your own energy. I think you need to just allow yourself to release. I think you need to just trust. And your teams are saying, we know, we know that you've been through so much already, but they're saying, please, 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 just trust us, because they love you. That's the parting message from your teams, Pile 1. But thank you so much for being here and trusting me to be your reader. If you would like to work with me or to have an extended reading with me, do not hesitate to reach out. But yeah, I'm being called to part on this. Focus on this lotus energy and know that you are continually growing and continually unfurling. Pile 1 is what I want to say. Trust yourself. Trust your teams. Hello Pile 2, this is your reading. Let's see what Spirit wishes to say to you. And the first card that we've got for you is the Smithsonite. And this is not a stone that I'm familiar with, so I will read from the guidebook, but I've got some pre-shuffled oracle for you as well. We've got the Offering. We've got Many Paths. And I actually had to restart your pile 2, because I got interrupted, which I wasn't happy about. So there was something in that too. Infinite potential, manifestation vortex. And I was being guided to vortexes before I sat down. Omino us est and destiny path. But I think you've come to a time of really having to reevaluate pile 2. And I think this is really left some of you struggling at this time. I think you really don't know which way to turn. You don't know almost like which way is up right now. And some of you might have been going through some intense shadow work, I'm hearing. You might have had to be doing some real intense upheaval of your darker aspects, which can leave you feeling very disorientated. And that's definitely something that I've gone through time and time again. So many deaths and rebirths that I don't even know which way is up. I don't know what is me. I don't know, you know, where I exist anymore, is what I want to share. And I think you're in this energy. But Smithsonite, rebirth from chaos, evolution, stress relief, emotional boost, clearing the obstacles to grow. Yeah. From here, there can be a rocky road, one that may seem to move under your feet as you engage in the process of healing. With rolling emotions, this journey can be confusing, unsettling, and cause you to want to beat a hasty retreat. But Smithsonite's spirit message as clear as can be. You are halting, moving forward and creating something new. Yeah, so it's almost like you're preventing newness from coming in, pile 2, because I think you've just gone into overdrive. I think that you've just completely come into a place of not necessarily stagnancy, but there is just a feeling of, this is too much. I wasn't ready for this. This is too much. This is not what I signed up for. And your teams are reminding you, this is exactly what you signed up for. And, you know, the destined path, as opposed to the fated path, is the path that you are taking. You have walked away from the fated life, the life that, you know, those out there that don't want to see us succeed have been paving this path for us. Yeah, these many paths that they weave for us. You've taken a sidestep and you've said no. You're taking a step towards Gaia. You're taking a step towards your soul. You've taken a step towards you. And your teams of light are saying, keep going, pile 2. Don't give up now. Take a minute to rest. Take a minute to reevaluate, but don't get stuck in perhaps the messiness of your emotions. And you need to start cleansing your energetic body. Yeah, Queen of Cups. And I was going to say in water, and she's completely submerged in water here. And that's what you need to do to make this path easier and clearer. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles, or going out in nature. There are strong feminine energies in this pile. And whether you resonate as masculine, feminine, you know, non-binary, the key to your future is unlocking your heart space, pile 2. And I think this is something that you haven't wanted to hear. I think you knew that I was going to say it. And I think looking at your heart and unlocking aspects of you connected to the heart space is the last thing you want to do at this time. But that's going to lead you to your many pathways, pile 2. I think you've been stuck in a lot of material mentality, and whether this is materialism or doing things by the book, and you've been forced to surrender, and I was finding it difficult to say that. So you might be finding it difficult to even speak right now, pile 2. You might have gone into complete hermit mode, and your teams of light are saying that is completely okay. It's okay to just want to retreat right now. And yeah, I always see this as someone squawking in someone's ear. So you might be having to retreat from those that unbalance you, those that take you off target, those that take you, away from your sacred essence. There is something about you that is so magically beautiful, pile 2. Your divine feminine energy is really overwhelmingly strong. And you're going to move forward faster the more that you can tune into this energy. And I didn't want to cover up the wolf there, and wolf spirit has been following my readings for some time, and I think you've been really releasing a lot from the past, but what you have to do now is accept the future in. And you know, we accept things in energetically before it comes into our lives, and this is something that a lot of people get stuck on in their journey, and including myself. I have to remind myself that I feel before I see, and I feel before I manifest. And you're having to get into a state of feeling before you can receive, pile 2. And I know that this is going to frustrate you, but you have to take care of yourself, and you have to start tuning into your heart and tuning into what you know to be true. You might have felt really full of late, just full of energy, and I was feeling this, and I had to grab some clear quartz and to send all of that energy to the clear quartz, because I felt like I couldn't take any more energy on. And maybe you're feeling like this, pile 2. Maybe you're feeling like you just want to pack up and leave. Some of you just want to leave, and your teams of light are saying, don't go yet. Keep holding on. There's something you're holding out for, pile 2. It makes me want to cry. I feel really emotional all of a sudden. It's like trust. Like, keep trusting what you are feeling, because you're holding out for something that's really special, pile 2. Trust in your teams and saying they're not leading you astray. All you have to do is keep in balance, and not for them, for you. And they're saying that's something you keep missing, is that they're wanting you to remain in balance for you so that you can receive. So they're saying when emotions come up, you have to release them. Yeah, this devil energy, you have to release these emotions that are taking you away from your strength and taking you away from your light. With the Nine of Cups here, it's like, what is keeping you from your light? What people, spaces, and places are keeping you from feeling your divine light all of the time? Because you should feel in this energy in your heart space all of the time. So what doesn't make you feel like this, Pile 2? And be brutally honest with yourself. Be brutally honest. And I think that's the bit that you're not wanting to listen to right now, is your teams are saying, what makes you feel good? And stand firmly in that and know that you will receive things that will meet you in that energy. I think you've been through so much, Pile 2. Those tears that wanted to come crashing down were just so heavy. And I'm so sorry that you've been hurting. And I'm seeing this little crow peeking out here. So you might have been seeing a lot of birds, or you've been connecting to a lot more familiars at this time. You've been noticing things cropping up, cropping here, and we've got the seeds being sown. But you've planted so many seeds for your future already, Pile 2. This is a lesson of release and trust, and not a lesson. It's just a process, you know. I think that you might feel like you are being punished at this time in some way, and your teams of light are saying they're not punishing you. You're being molded into the best version of you, which feels uncomfortable, but they're not punishing you. Yeah, you're having to stand real strong right now, Pile 2, and yeah. Know that your Prince Charming is coming, and, you know, however that relates to you, your Princess Charming, your Princess Sparkle, I'm hearing. Yeah, Two of Cups. Some of you have been looking for divine love, and I'm going to cover the devil up with that, because yeah, I think that it's devil energy that's preventing you from this. But you've been weaving a lot. You've been making your way to this Nine of Cups, and your teams are saying, yeah, it's like you have to run away from something of the past, Pile 2. And that is not something that I say often, and I don't necessarily think this is in the physical sense, but as soon as you turn your back on something from the past, love is coming in for you. And that message came through so strongly. It's like you have to let go of something from the past in order to receive your divine light, your divine love, your divine next chapter. And you are very, very connected to the cycles of this earth, to the moon cycles as well, Pile 2. So tune into what is happening around you right now. Where don't you feel stable? Where do you feel stable? What feels good to you? What feels like it is making you feel in lack? What makes you feel like you are not in your full capacity and strength? And step into your stellar gateway, into your infinite potential, Pile 2, because you know that you have this. Remind yourself of how magical you are. Remind yourself of how safe you are and how safe it is to love, Pile 2. I think you've given up on believing in love in all of its forms, and your teams of light are saying, please, not now. They're saying, please hold on, because something is coming that is going to help you feel fulfilled, that is going to help you feel held, that is going to help you feel seen and appreciated and supported. Yeah, with the infinity symbol coming to my mind then, it's like, just hold on, Pile 2. Just hold on and release. And it's okay to feel alone right now. It's okay to feel in shadow right now. It's okay to feel perhaps outcast in some way. But just hold on, because you're stepping into a new fabric of existence, and you're not going to believe the life that you are living very, very soon, Pile 2. And I wish you could feel the energy that I'm feeling sat in your energy, because it's beautiful. I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel appreciated, and yeah, I've just cut to the deck to the 4 and the Emperor. You're very much in control, Pile 2, though you might not feel like it. You've done a lot of things to help you move forward and step into this new layer of existence. So trust in the energy. Trust in that everything that you've been asking is coming straight to you, Pile 2. You're just going through a time of having to wait for other things to be woven for you behind the scenes, and you know, I've definitely been in this energy where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how long is this going to take? What is going to happen? I don't know what is going to happen. I feel like I'm holding on for dear life. And, you know, I felt like I was hanging off the edge of a cliff to the point where, you know, your fingers are hurting, your knuckles are going white. And I thought, I'm going to just fall off this cliff and that's going to be the end. And, you know, lo and behold, a helicopter showed up and my star team met me. Pile to, I don't know, just cut to the Ace of Cups, and you're going to be met with your cup of love. Pile to, trust that. Please, please, please trust that is the final message from your team. And yeah, a massive hug from me to you, Pile 2, and thank you for showing up today. But take a pause on this card and just tune into the energies of this. And we've got the pyramids of Giza behind, I think, within that. So tuning into the energies of Egypt might really help you to feel stronger, feel look at bits of magic, look at bits of connecting to galactic essences deeper, Pile 2, because that's going to help you move forward and feel like you are prospering at this time, perhaps when you're waiting for other things to be brought into your plane of existence that are already for you. Now, I hope that makes sense, but energetically you've moved forward and you're waiting for the rest of the world around you to meet you there is what is happening right now at the moment, Pile 2. I hope that this makes sense, but yeah, thank you for showing up today, Pile 2, and I know that it's been no small feat what you've had to go through, and yeah, my heart goes out to you, and I promise you are going to receive everything that you've been working so hard towards, and that's the bit that you're missing, Pile 2. You've worked so hard for what's coming in for you. Why do you think that you're not going to receive it, is what I want to share. But if you would like an extended reading with me, or perhaps to be working with me in terms of your energetic vessel, do not hesitate to reach out, Pile 2. I'd love to connect. Hello, Pile 3, this is your reading. It was 13:31 on the clock there when I was setting up, and Selenite and 49, and I'm very familiar with Selenite, but the other two crystal cards I wasn't familiar with at all, which I found interesting. But I've got some pre-shuffled oracle for you, and I've got some tarot to pull as well. I've got the Storm for you, and it's been really stormy where I am, and there's been a lot of talk of floods and all those types of things. And yeah, it's so funny. I was guided to look at the trees of life, and I can't remember what they are, but I think they're in Africa, the big trees. And apologies because I can't remember what they're called, but I was guided to look at those this week, which I find interesting. And we've got fire and intensity, and I've been told to leave a gap here. So something's coming, Pile 3. Something that you're absolutely not expecting, I'm hearing. Orion, I said Orion, but it says Order of Melchizedek. Embraced by light, mission uncovered, don't give up. And I find that phenomenally interesting that I said Orion. So there's something connecting to the Orion star system that's really important to you, Pile 3. You're about to shine. Yeah, someone is coming in for you, Pile 3, that you're not expecting. And this might be a new spirit guide. This might be a new spirit guide. This might be, it's like a knight in shining armor is showing up for you. And this might be someone that you don't know very well. This might be someone that you've been wanting to get to know. And this is going to completely, resonate with how it fits with you and your story right now. And, some of you, this is romantic. Some of you, this is a friendship. Some of you, this is, someone that is maybe a lot more further on in their spiritual practices or in the same job as you. This doesn't necessarily have to connect to the spiritual realms, but your connection is spiritual, and neither of you might even be looking into spirituality apart from watching my readings or very minute practices, but actually you know each other from a past life. This tree of life here, it's like someone from your past is coming back, and it's a past life. And this might be someone you haven't met yet, Pile 3. And they're really going to help you in this journey. But for some of you, this is like a real intense love connection that you haven't been expecting. And it's someone that it's someone that you already know. And the armadillo here, that's so funny. And someone mentioned an armadillo to me not that long ago. I can't remember who it was. Oh, I remember now. Hello, if this is your pile, that's very cute. We've got 4 in the Emperor, and this came out in Pile 2. This energy there's something happening. Nine of Pentacles. There's stability on the way to you, Pile 3, and I feel really excited for you. Wow, we've got the 10 of Cups, and you're not expecting this. And like your teams of light are completely just they're like smiling so hard behind behind me, you know. They're like, yes, it's here. Yes, it's here. And you might not even know what this thing is. Yeah, the two with the high priestess, but you've been calling this in for a real long time. Pile 3. You've been doing so much work on yourself, on your expansion, on your business. I'm hearing some of you, this is like a business matter that's going to go incredibly well, and you haven't been expecting it, because I think you've been in the storm energy. You've been in this fire and you've been in the storm for a really long time, but you've kept your faith. Pile 3, however that looks to you. This might just be, you know, keeping up your positive energy about your small business growing. This might be, you know, planting all those seeds into different spaces where you know you can expand, and your teams of light are saying, because of you, you've allowed a lot of other people to walk away from things that no longer serve them, because you've been doing that in your life too, and you said no, and you've been alchemizing your own energy, and this has been inspiring others, whether you know it or not. Pile 3. And because of that, your teams of light are allowing you to step forward into a whole different pathway to receive your 10 of Cups. I'm going to read a little bit from the Selenite, the Crystal Spirit Oracle, which is by Colette Baron Reed, and was gifted to me actually by a very dear soul sister of mine. So this might be your pile, and I hope so. We've got 49 on there. It might be your 49th birthday. It might be in your 49th year. I kept saying 9, 10, 11, 12, and I couldn't say 13. So there was something about the number 13, or you might have come through what you felt like was a really unlucky spell, Pile 3. But selenite, liquid light, fluidity, flexibility, illumination, clarity, raising your vibration. When selenite spirit appears, it's a message to you to keep moving past your challenges. Your sight's always on the horizon. Your sight's always on raising your vibration, to be linked to liquid light, illuminating, flexible and fluid. For even the earth and her rocks, stones and crystals change and reveal more of themselves over time. Selenite spirit's message is that whatever the pace of change, you must yield your expectations about how things should be, so that you can discover the beauty in how things are evolving. Okay, that's what it is. And I'm really sorry, Pile 3. There's a lot of energy coursing through my veins, which makes it very difficult for me to read to read a sentence. So I hope that made sense. But it's like you thought that things were going to go such a specific way, Pile 3, and your teams had to just maybe shut some doors for you that you weren't expecting. And they're saying they did this so that you could receive more. So that you could receive more things that were more suited to you, and that were going to help you live the most abundant and happy life. I think a lot of things from the past were bringing you a lot of pain, a lot of toxicity, a lot of confrontation, and you continue to be the light, Pile 3, and you might have come straight from Pile 2 as a continuation. So this is the energy that you're going to get to, Pile 2, who are in Pile 3 right now, if you keep pushing forward. But continue to alchemize your own energy. Please start meditating, everyone that is here. If you don't, this might be 2 minutes a day, this might be 30 seconds, and I promise you, I literally started at 30 seconds and I could do no more. And you know, I've worked my way up as to where I like to think that for the most part of most days I'm meditating now in my own energy. And I was hearing fermenting, so some of you might make your own kombucha, I'm hearing, which is real interesting. And I love the kombucha, so I don't know why I felt called to share that, but I'm just being drawn to a lot of the bowls of water, and this idea that you are filling your own cup right now, Pile 3, and you might feel like you're only just coming out of this storm and this fire energy. You might feel like you've just been rescued. And I use an analogy of holding on for dear life on a cliff. So you might feel like you've just come off the edge of the cliff and you've been rescued, Pile 3, and you're having to really hold your own light, and you've been doing this for a real long time. So your teams are congratulating you, and they're saying, through this new moon in Virgo, allow yourself to grind yourself here. Allow yourself to ground in the energy of yourself, because you're very powerful, Pile 3, and I think that you haven't been allowed to see this. I think that you haven't been validated by many around you. I think that perhaps you've been dealing with a lot of conflict, and a lot of inner conflict as well, that's come from other people, I'm hearing. So allow for yourself to settle, allow for yourself to detach from the past, and allow for yourself to be focusing in on your future, but in a much healthier light, Pile 3. The quicker that you can shift your gaze inwards and understand that everything that is coming to you is going to be of the highest light, of the highest vibration, because you chose it to be that way. You've weathered these storms, Pile 3. You have come through the gates of hell for some of you. You've come through the gates of hell. You've been battling demons. You've been battling, those things in the dark. You've been doing a lot of shadow work. You've been uprooting a lot of ancestral karma. You've been focusing on what you want to receive, and you're going to receive it so soon, Pile 3. Like, incredibly soon. A lot sooner than you were expecting. I think some of you had maybe a 5-year plan, and it's going to be, a 1.5 year that you receive the maximum what you thought you were going to receive this lifetime, and that's going to be the basis of your life moving forward. Your end goal is actually the basics of what you're going to be receiving from what you've been doing, Pile 3. And I honestly want to clap my hands for you and congratulate you, because I can feel how much life you have been giving to so many others. You are the light of so many people's lives, Pile 3. And, you might be the best mother, you might be the best friend, you might be someone that really works within your community, you might be someone that is just a positive person that they have in the workspace at all times, but there is so many people that come in and see you, and, they see you just being happy and radiant. And this is not toxic positivity that I'm portraying here, but you work so hard on yourself that all you give out is love. Even if you're sad, your heart is completely open for others, and you've continued to be that way even though you've been so sad, so broken, so triggered by people, so torn down in some spaces, I'm hearing, or you felt like you were abandoned. And with the Order of Melchizedek coming through here, which is, one of the most powerful teams that you can possibly work with, it's like you are their right-hand man, woman, non-binary, gender neutral, but you are their right hand, Pile 3, and you don't even allow yourself to see how divine you are, which is just giving you even more to be coming in for you. So your teams of light are just saying congratulations, and just wait to receive. Just wait to receive, Pile 3, and trust them. Trust that you've done enough. Trust that you are enough. And working on your solar plexus is going to help you be able to receive all of this. I'm seeing this as the energetic equivalent of what you're going to receive. And look at this power here, Pile 3. It's absolutely ridiculous. That is just an epicenter of quantum energy. And you're going to receive that straight into your soul, straight into your life. Your life is going to be so blessed, Pile 3. And, I don't share these messages lightly. And you're not going to think this message is for you. Everyone that has showed up here, you're going to be like, it's not for me. And your teams of light are saying, it absolutely is. And you're so humble, which means you will only receive more, Pile 3. And that's such a beautiful message. But allow yourself to believe that you are wonderful. Allow yourself to believe that you are worthy of this life that you haven't even imagined for yourself. And I can't remember what it says. It's something like, sometimes the dreams that we receive are bigger than the dreams we could have ever possibly imagined for ourselves. There's a saying that's in one of my family members' house on their wall, and it means that. I can't remember what the phrase is, but it means that, and I will try and grab that from them so I can put it in the description for you. But you're going to receive a lot more than you've even planned for yourself, because your teams of light have been saying you've been thinking way too small, Pile 3. Way too small, and your light is so big, your light is so intense, and it is so beautiful. And I think that there have been a lot of people around you that haven't been allowing you to see that, Pile 3. So they're saying keep walking away from anything that causes you conflict, and allow your light to shine, allow your light to soar, and keep coming back to your inner knowing as well, Pile 3. Your inner knowing that you deserve to receive, and your inner knowing that you are the magician, you can alchemize anything. And working with the infinity symbol as well has been something that I've been guided to. So tuning into your own energy, your third eye, your solar plexus, and working with sacred symbols, so sacred geometry, but in particular the infinity symbol, and just bathing yourself in divine, I've seen divine masculine light. So maybe some of you are having to balance out your feminine energies at this time, or vice versa. And you know, I believe that we all hold masculine and feminine energies within our vessel, but you've done so much. Your teams of light are saying just make a few tweaks, that if they had to give some guidance, they'd be like, just sharpen up your skills, just sharpen up the things that you already know that you possess, and trusting that you possess them. Maybe it's some of you, you know, really taking ownership of your the gifts that you have. And this might not be spiritual, this might be with regards to business, this might regard anything, absolutely anything. You are very skilled at something, pile 3. So they're saying take ownership of that. Take ownership of how skilled you are at something, because you deserve to. You're the master of it. They're saying you don't believe you're the master, but you're beyond the master at this point, and it goes into the quantum. It's like you created the thing that you're good at somewhere, pile 3. You decided that that was going to be a thing, and I hope that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is like you're the OG, pile 3. In non-spiritual terms, some of you are going to relate to that. You are just the OG at what you do, and they're saying own it, and you deserve it, and they're really proud of you, pile 3, is what I want to share. And yeah, congratulations, pile 3. But I'm going to leave it there, and thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me to be your reader, and thank you for showing up today. But for those of you that aren't on the spiritual path, if you would like to tap into that a little bit more, please do not hesitate to reach out to me and we can work together. But for those that are just here to receive this amazing reading, and you know, to just receive this little pick me up, and you know, to just receive how amazing you are back at you, trust in that. Trust that you are the magician. Trust that you hold life in your hands, and so much light, but so much love from me to you, pile 3, and take care. I'll be back soon.